Welcome to Visa Everywhere Initiative North America, an open innovation program that tasks startups and fintechs to solve the payment and commerce challenges of tomorrow. Today's participants are the top startups recruited across the region. These finalists will compete to represent North America in the Visa Everywhere Initiative 2021 Global Edition Finals, where Visa will award a total of $100,000 in prizes. To select our winner, we have a robust panel of judges representing the startup community and Visa. It's time to kick off Visa Everywhere Initiative North America. Here's your host, Abadesi Osinsade, founder and CEO, Hustle Crew, VP Global Community and Belonging, Brand Watch and co-host of the Techish Podcast.
Hi everyone, my name is Abadesi and I'll be your host for the North America Visa Everywhere Initiative 2021. We're excited to have you tune in today. Visa has selected an impressive cohort of startups and fintechs, all of which are doing groundbreaking work. These companies are poised to change the world of payments and solve the challenges of tomorrow. Now, I want to introduce our esteemed judges. Harry Angelos, SVP, Global Head of FinTech, Visa. Amy Dawson, Head of North America Innovation, Visa. Mary Kay Bowman, SVP, Global Head of Buyer and Seller Solutions, Visa. Charles Hudson, Managing Partner and Founder, Precursor Ventures. Kanyi Makubela, Managing Partner, Kindred Ventures. Ayman Hamad, Executive Director, Transaction Optimization and Protection, JP Morgan. We're excited for you to join us today. Next, introducing our 5 finalists. Travis Holloway of Solo Funds, Jonathan Chester of Bitwage, Eve Halimi of Alinea, Wade Arnold of Move Financial, Piali Aditya of Republic. A big virtual round of applause for our judges and finalists. How will today work? Each of our 5 finalists will have 4 minutes to pitch, followed by 4 minutes of Q&A with our judges. Startups will be judged on challenge fit and pitch presentation, Visa partnership opportunity, desirability and uniqueness, feasibility of product solution, and added value. Once all startups have pitched, the judges will deliberate privately and select the winner, who will receive $10,000 in prize money. The winner will also be guaranteed a spot in the Visa Everywhere Initiative Global Finals for the chance to win up to $100,000 in total prizes. The Global Finals will be live streamed globally on TechCrunch on September 14. For those of you in the audience today, your votes will decide the audience favorite winner, who will receive $10,000. After all 5 startups have pitched, a link and QR code to the voting page will pop up on screen, along with instructions on how to place your vote. You will have 2 minutes to cast your vote, so stay ready. I also want to give a warm welcome to Andres Weidler, the Executive Director at Start Out. Start Out is a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering LGBTQ+ entrepreneurs. Celebrating Pride Month, and while judges are deliberating later in the show, we will hear from Andres about Start Out's important work in the LGBTQ+ community, facilitated by Jennifer Anapolsky, Vice President of Global Product Marketing, Visa. Now, let's get to the pitches. So I'm the kind of person that doesn't just want to invest in stocks and shares and crypto. I want to invest in people in the communities that I care about. And that's why I'm so excited to hear from this startup. First up, welcome to Travis Holloway of Solo Funds, Community Banking Redefined.
Hi, my name is Travis Holloway, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Solo Funds. Loans under $1,000 are extremely scarce, and traditional institutions have struggled underwriting under big demographics. Before COVID was a household name, 78% of the country was living paycheck to paycheck, and 41% of the country couldn't solve just a $400 emergency cash need without borrowing from someone else or selling a personal asset. COVID has only exacerbated this problem, as layoffs and furloughs have led to financial shock that most Americans simply cannot absorb. The size of the market is massive. This is a $190 billion total market opportunity that is comprised of the $150 billion subprime and below credit market and the $40 billion payday lending market. SOLO, short for social loans, is community banking redefined. We're a marketplace where people borrow on their own terms and lend to reap the benefits. We like to say that SOLO provides the science. Most importantly, unlike other lenders, 100% of our transactions are facilitated via debit cards. Meet Tracy, a single mother of two who works as an NYC transit worker cleaning trains overnight. While Tracy was spared being laid off, she recently had her hours cut. Her paycheck is now only 40% of what it once was, but her bills remain the same. To top it off, her ex-husband got laid off and stopped fulfilling his child support obligations. She's fallen behind on rent and is now $375 short from preventing eviction. Traditional payday loans are banned in the state of New York, and she can't use payday advance companies because she isn't working enough hours. For Tracy, just $375 is the difference between her family being homeless and having a roof over their heads. Nearly 80% of Americans are just like Tracy. Fortunately for Tracy, her friend told her about SOLO. SOLO empowers Tracy to create her own loan terms. She can select how much money she needs, what she needs it for, when she can pay it back, and if she's willing to pay anything in addition to the principal amount. Lenders have complete autonomy over who they lend to. Lenders leverage our proprietary risk assessment score to determine their risk tolerance. The SOLO score is a per transaction based score, largely based on cash flow, which evaluates a borrower's ability to repay. When a lender selects Tracy's loan, capital is transferred from their checking account directly to Tracy's checking account in real time. Due to the short loan duration, SOLO creates a highly liquid investment opportunity for individual lenders to experience best-in-class returns while simultaneously having a positive social impact on the community. SOLO is the only place that borrowers have complete control over loan terms, which creates an opportunity for the fastest and most affordable loans in the small dollar lending market. We've facilitated over 120,000 loans. We've been growing at 40% month over month, and what we're most proud of is the fact that we're matching loans amongst complete strangers at an unprecedented rate of just 36 minutes and have a default rate 3 times better than industry average. The opportunity for SOLO and Visa is that today, people who find themselves in need of these loans are solving their cash shortfalls by taking traditional payday loans, which transmit capital in ACH or cash transactions. Visa Direct creates an opportunity to bring this massive industry to debit rails and unlock immediate equitable capital for the people like Tracy who need it most. Soon, we will be releasing a credit builder product to positively impact FICO scores. But most importantly, we will be releasing a wallet, and we hope to partner with Visa to issue a debit card alongside it. SOLO has global ambitions and will launch in 2 emerging markets in the next 12 months. We appreciate this opportunity and look forward to expanding our reach and amplifying our impact with Visa in the very near future. There are millions of Tracys that need help. Let's use the power of financial collaboration to come through for them. Thank you.
What a fantastic pitch. That's definitely a vision of the future I can get behind. Thank you, Travis. Now, over to our judges for the Q&A. Terry, I'll start with you. Any questions for Travis?
Hey, Travis, thanks for that. Question that I had was about the SOLO score. You mentioned that's based on cash flow. Can you just say a bit more about what information Tracy has to give in order to give you that information so that she can be part of the marketplace?
Yeah, so we connect via Plaid. All of our users connect their bank accounts via Plaid. The Plaid data allows us to analyze up to 24 months of banking activity to understand, cash flow, how frequently Tracy gets paid, when do major bills come out, what are overall spending habits, what's her average daily balance, in an effort to determine whether or not she has the ability to repay a loan on a specified date. While Tracy may have been laid off and had her hours reduced at work, that doesn't mean that she doesn't have other sources of revenue. She may be babysitting on the side. She could be, delivering Postmates. She could be, she could have a supportive family member who's depositing capital into her bank account on a regular basis. And, the goal here is really to determine a specified date and time over a 1 month period where she would have the highest likelihood of repayment.
Great, thank you.
Charles, over to you. Any questions for Travis?
I had one question for you, Travis. I was curious about just lender recruitment. And you talked about lending volume going up during the pandemic. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you recruit the lending side and what motivates people to be on the platform?
Yeah, absolutely. So our lenders are largely motivated by two things. One, they want to deploy capital and earn returns. I think there's a number of fintechs, and I won't give anyone else any shine on this call, but I think we know some of those companies that are deploying, that people are deploying capital on at rapid rates, looking for returns, and they've been largely not given access to investment opportunities in the past. But with that said, these individuals are all also looking to have a positive social impact and do good. And Solo creates an opportunity where you can do well and do good at the same time. These individuals are drawn to the platform because, one, they connect to the reason why borrowers need access to capital. They also understand that due to the short loan duration, this is a highly liquid opportunity for them to deploy capital and be able to get it back. And the return potential is significant when you look at that in comparison to other investment opportunities in the market today.
Okay, we've got time for one more quick question. Kanye, have you got a question for Travis?
I sure do. Thank you, Travis. This is a great presentation and congratulations on all the success. The question is, as a borrower, how do I know what the right rate is? Be 100%? Should it be 150%? How do I know that I'm not getting squeezed? I'm not a financial expert. And so even though I might think I know something that's fair, how do you determine what's actually fair as a borrower? And then how do you as a platform create guardrails for them?
Yeah, phenomenal question. We show borrowers, a blank box that they can type in a return to a lender. We do cap that at 12%, so that's the maximum tip that we would allow a lender to offer. A borrower to offer to a lender. But what we're proving is that this demographic of teachers and social workers who are drastically underpaid but live in large metropolitan areas are much more fiscally responsible and financially savvy than people give them credit for. These individuals over time tend to offer maximum tips early on when they don't have borrowing history within the platform, and organically start to offer less returns as they become more mature in the platform. That's exactly what we want to happen. But what's really exciting is that we don't have to tell them that's what they should do. We're seeing that happen organically. They understand that they become more attractive in the market as they take loans and repay them back. And they inherently will offer less and pay less over time, which is how we think finance should work for all.
Market forces at work. Thank you very much. Really interesting.
What a great job, Travis. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you, judges. Please remember to vote. I'm super excited to hear this next pitch. Let's give a big welcome to Jonathan Chester of BitWage, Bitcoin payroll, invoicing, and benefits for remote workforces.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Chester, the CEO of BitWage. BitWage is the leading provider of Bitcoin and crypto-powered payroll, invoicing, and benefit services globally. COVID has acted as a catalyst for changing the way that we work and the way that we get paid. Freelancers were paid $1.5 trillion globally before the pandemic, with HR executives expecting remote work to increase 700% afterwards. The world is increasingly becoming remote and digital. Businesses have to adapt. The incumbent banking system is slow and hard to move. Sending money abroad to remote workers is often slow, expensive, and time-consuming. Modern payroll systems focus only on domestic employees and tax laws, yet companies need to pay their global workforces of employees and freelancers. On top of this, workers globally live in countries with poor currency conditions and are looking for ways to escape. Enter BitWage. BitWage offers a suite of solutions, B2B and B2C, to help companies pay workforces faster, cheaper, and in the currency their workers want. Our B2B product seamlessly integrates with corporate payroll and treasury solutions to offer one-click global payouts with detailed reporting. This means a healthcare SaaS company can pay their 200 customer service Filipinos, their 5 designers in Brazil, and Damien, an Argentine software developer, with the single click of a button. Our B2C product gives workers globally access to depository bank accounts in the US, EU, and UK to receive wages from clients without their clients needing to sign up. Damien, one of the previous SaaS company's Argentine developers, also gets paid by Facebook as a contractor. Damien uses Bitwage to invoice Facebook and get paid without Facebook needing to sign up. The key here is total flexibility for the company and the worker. Before each payroll, the company chooses how they want to get paid, such as in Bitcoin, stablecoins, or their own local currency. Companies are then able to fund with local currency or cryptocurrencies. Our system automates all the complex calculations and operations, delivering funds into bank accounts and wallets with clean reporting for corporate and worker accounting systems. With stablecoins, workers in countries around the world are able to get paid with the efficiency of blockchain, but the stability of dollars, making our services a vital lifeline for workers like Damien in countries such as Argentina. Alternatively, in countries with more stable currencies, such as Brazil or Philippines, we use Bitcoin as a medium of exchange to enable same-day transfer of funds into bank accounts with significantly better rates and fees at scale. Bitwage has processed over $100 million in transactions to date, with over 50,000 registered users. We grew 65% and were profitable in 2020, so we aren't going away anytime soon. We are secure and compliant, aligning our audited data and cybersecurity policies with ISO and NISO standards. We are registered with FinCEN and are regularly audited. Our goal is to work together with Visa through the Visa Issuance and Visa Direct programs. Through Visa Issuance, we can offer international workers the ability to get paid in Bitcoin or stablecoins and spend them directly from their wallets, similarly to your partnership with Crypto.com. This card will enable the flexibility of being paid in cryptocurrency with the ease of spending on the Visa network. This ultimately provides an alternative solution for unbanked workforces being paid globally. The incorporation of Visa Direct will allow us to programmatically deliver funds globally and instantly to workers, adding additional flexibility to our payout options and improving Bitwage operations to countries where programmatic banking isn't easily available. Together, we can help millions of workers around the world, like Damien, get paid the way they need to, getting their money faster and cheaper through the blockchain and spending it same day through Visa. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredible pitch. Well done, Jonathan. Okay, let's go to the Q&A. Eamon, I would love to start with you. Any questions for Jonathan?
Absolutely. Jonathan, this is fantastic. Very nice pitch. I have actually a couple of questions for you. How are you making actually your money in this flow? And the second question, who else is actually doing something along this very nice innovative model of using cryptocurrency for paying overseas and remote wages?
Yeah, all right, great. So the first is the business model. We make money on pretty much the FX spread from going from dollars to another fiat currency or cryptocurrency. The base rate is about 1%, and then it goes up or down from there depending on a variety of choices that you might make on the platform. In terms of who else is doing this to pay remote workers, there are some companies out there that have adjacent services. So there's one company called Strike that exists, and they have a competitive product to our B2C, but they're a little bit different. They're more like a neobank that is on the crypto rails, whereas we are more like a direct deposit service and an HR service that helps get the money to where you want it to go. So we have no custody on our service. There's no balance. There's no wallet or anything like that.
Thank you.
Awesome. Amy, any questions for Jonathan?
Hi, Jonathan. Thank you for the pitch and congratulations on being profitable already. I have a question on your approach to customer acquisition. What is your model for acquiring more customers to drive their growth going forward? And how are you selling them on this new way of paying their workers?
Sure. Yeah. So as you know, we have both the B2B and a B2C model. We've been fairly working on grassroots to today. So it's really like an SEO, social media, press relations methodology. Our next step is channel partners. So we are in talks and starting integrations with various channel partners in the HR industry, such as time tracking services, payroll services, general HR services. So our path is really, a marketing path and soon a channel partner path.
Great, thank you.
All right, we've got time for a couple questions. Mary Kay, any questions for Jonathan?
Yep. Hi, Jonathan. Great pitch and a lot of progress in a really busy space. One of the questions that I have, knowing that HR systems and are kind of some of the oldest systems requiring lots of reporting, reconciliation, and accounting, and then Bitcoin and crypto is one of the newest and is a storming area for that. I'm curious where you think, how you think you're going to be able to keep up with the changes and the heft of those. You said you gave reconciliation services to your clients on both sides. How are you going to keep up with that in this ever-changing market?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So right now where we are is we have operational integrations with the current systems that are in place. And what we want to see over the next few years are technical integrations. So the most important technical integration that we see is a communication handoff as to sort of preferences between the two systems, so that on each pay period there is a coordination on dollar amounts equaling each other on both systems, if that kind of makes sense. So outside of that, though, what we then do is we take those dollar amounts and then we connect that into the crypto world. So as the crypto world changes, that makes our system more complex. But what the current systems need today are just, how does that normalize to dollars, and then how does that information then get inputted into the today's traditional systems? And that's one of the specialties that our system provides is that normalization and that connection operationally and technically.
Amazing. Great job, Jonathan, on the Q&A. And thank you so much to our judges. Please remember to vote. I'm the kind of person that really wishes I got into investing a lot earlier, but the truth is I couldn't find any products that made that world accessible to me. And that's why I'm really excited about this company. Let's please give a warm welcome to our next finalist, Eve Halimi of Alinea, an investing app for Gen Z.
Hi, I'm Eve, co-founder of Alinea. We're on a mission to power the future of investing for Gen Z. Anam, my co-founder, and I met at university while we were studying economics together. When we came back from summer internships on Wall Street, we wanted to start investing, but there was no product out there we liked. And we weren't alone. Women and minorities are often overlooked when it comes to this space. And that's why we started working on Alinea. Now let's face it, Gen Zs don't want to invest like their parents do. And when looking at the market size, in the US alone, 18 to 24-year-olds comprise of over 31 million consumers. They have a total spending power of $593 billion. They have a daily spending power of $60 billion. So we're looking at a market size of 31 billion and growing. Now, when Anam and I started building Alinea, we knew that this product had to have a very easy onboarding experience. That's why we've been able to do this with only 8 KYC screens, which is 20% shorter than our competitors. We've also partnered up with Plaid and DriveWealth to make it possible for our users to open an account and start investing with as little as $1 in just 60 seconds. Second, we make it easy for you to start investing and find the right investments through our search tab. We also know that basically ETFs are a very powerful investing tool, and we've decided to rebrand them for Gen Zs and call them stacks. Ever since we've done so, they've been much more popular than single stocks. Third, the biggest problem with investing today is the amount of misinformation there is out there. And in our app, investors can get high quality information that we extract from SEC reports and put into bite-sized cards for our customers. And lastly, we're all about transparency at Alinea. That's why we've partnered up with ISS to provide our customers with ESG scores, so so they have more information on the impact companies are having on the environment, society, and the workplace. Now, as for our community, well, we're going directly to our customers at Alinea. Those are college students. And we've launched an ambassador program in 7 campuses across the US with 25 community coordinators that share Alinea's mission with their peers every day. We've been able to do this with $0 spent on marketing. We're also moving fast. Last month, we completed our $2 million seed round and started offering stacks on Alinea. By next quarter, we're planning to integrate crypto and start generating revenue via our subscription model. And by Q4, we're on track to be on 30 plus campuses across the US. Now, as for our business model, we're looking to have a freemium subscription model on Alinea, where we have our free version, of course, but a premium offering for members who want to have extra content, crypto offerings, and Alinea events, as well as one-on-one customer support. Now, in 2021, only 15% of Bitcoin investors were women. And it's a Namanai's mission to change that with Alinea. We've actually hosted a few conferences at Columbia in the past to educate women on the importance of blockchain. And now that we've established equity investing, the logical next step for us is offering crypto on Alinea. A partnership with Visa's crypto API would be key to facilitating this next milestone. And our Gen Z customers are asking us every day to integrate crypto. They really have an appetite for it. So really a partnership with Visa would offer us the credibility and the functionality to serve them. What we can offer Visa is a diverse, young, and Gen Z-focused customer base, as well as a constant pipeline of new students every year. Let's help the underserved participate in the crypto economy, and let's power the future of investing for Gen Z together. Thank you.
What an incredible journey. Great pitch, Eve. Now, let's hear from our judges. Charles, any questions for Eve?
Great presentation, Eve. I have just one macro question. Can you give me some sense for why some of the alternative products, I'm thinking like a Robinhood or Public or some of the other products that at least purport to target this audience, what you've learned about why those aren't meeting the needs of your audience?
So great question, Charles. Well, the first thing we're seeing is that people, especially women and minorities, are still feeling very overwhelmed by the concept of investing. Having a social feed component to it with famous people essentially doesn't solve that problem. Robinhood is another product of itself that's very gamified, and that again targets an audience that's not for everyone. What we're trying to do is fix that onboarding and overwhelming experience that first-time investors have. And that's by starting earlier on when you're exposed to investing at an earlier age, and you're educated about long-term wealth in the right way, then you're more likely to start investing in the right way. And the last big focus for us is going to be on impact. So we have the ESG scores, we have more transparency. We're really here to try to educate the user and to let them also invest in impactful causes like we've done with our sector stacks on the app.
Thank you.
What an exciting vision. Okay, Kanye, any questions for Eve?
Yeah, I have one question. This is a great pitch, by the way. Thank you. And the question is around the $9.99 per month. So, you know, New York Times charges $1 a week sometimes, and they have substantively less. How do I put it? $9.99 seems like reasonably high, and I'm trying to think a little bit about how you're going to frame this in the context of the buyer. Are they going to be thinking of this as a magazine subscription, or are they going to be thinking of it as an investment product on the subscription side of the business?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be completely transparent, we are still figuring out the tiered subscription model. And what that's going to look like is either an Acorns / Ellevest model, which is going to be tiered, starting at $129, or it's going to be a completely freemium subscription. And what we've seen is the $9.99 is actually people are willing to, that's the maximum people, but the sweet spot people are willing to pay essentially to have extra content, extra research, and extra offerings. So it's really an all-inclusive membership fee. And we want this to be, again, a membership fee. You'll be a part of this Alinea community. You'll go to Alinea events when you pay the $9.99 a month. So there's much more than just the investing app. and functionalities.
Awesome. All right. Aiden, any questions for Eve?
Yes, Eve, thank you so much. This was a great pitch. I have a question for you. It seems actually that one of the best value that's actually providing over here is how you put the information and how you're presenting it in a very friendly fashion, so on. So my question to you is, what is the source of the content that you're actually providing, and how are you going to be making sure that you're going to keeping this up, knowing actually that the barrier of entry of presenting the information is probably pretty low for others?
Yeah, we're automating everything, and it's being pulled from SEC reports directly, and it's being updated on a quarterly basis. So from 10Qs. And yeah, I mean, the big things that we have to change is how a company makes money, for example, the revenue breakdown. But the sources are there. It's just about how we're basically displaying it to the user, making it shorter and more accessible. And then for the ESG data, we've partnered with ISS. So that's automatically updated.
Thank you.
Great work, Eve. And thank you, judges. Please remember to vote. It seems like there's a new fintech app out every day, which is incredible. We want to support innovation in this space. And that's why I'm so excited to hear more from this next company. Let's welcome Wade Arnold of Move Financial, making it easy for developers to accept, store, and disperse money.
Hi, everyone. My name is Wade Arnold, and I'm the founder and CEO of Move. Move makes it incredibly easy for developers to accept, store, and disperse money, all from a single platform. We built Move because developers had no easy way to build an elegant and cohesive user experience across these industry silos. Move started as an open source community focused on banking primitives. We attracted thousands of contributors from the world's best fintechs, banks, and startups that shared knowledge and code. As a two-time fintech founder, I deeply understand the pain of legacy technology. Our 36 projects such as ACH, Wire, and ISO 8583 have become the de facto standard for a cloud-native world. We believe the next generation of web applications are predominantly two-sided marketplaces. As a Techstars mentor, I witnessed hundreds of companies that were the next car share of X or food delivery of Y, home rental of Z. All of these sharing platforms require the transfer of value between one actor to another. All of these platforms can't become payment experts to build their product. They just want to move money. I want to share a Move customer story and how a payment platform can make running a campaign easier. Total political donations in 2020 totaled $14 billion, from the smallest local campaign to the presidency. The unique aspect of political campaigns is that every dollar donated and every dollar spent needs to be accounted for in public record. Move's partners will accept over $7 billion in the next cycle. Today, those donations are distributed to thousands of different banks. Tracking how the money is spent is a manual process. With Move, our client can build a campaign finance platform. The money the campaign accepted via Move is now stored in our wallet and is dispersed through our rails. The campaign can pay vendors and independent contractors and electronically file 1099s. With Move as the Visa issuer, the campaign can control their spending and have detailed transactions. Move's acceptance and disperse history allows the campaign to track every cent donated and spent. Today, an army of B-School interns manually reconciles all of this at the end of each month to create a Federal Election Commission file. Move's platform and our partner software automate this away. And because Move is becoming a money service business and is a registered PayFac, our partners nor their clients have to talk to a bank. Through a direct processing partnership with Visa, Move can empower developers around the world to utilize Visa Rails and provide their end users with a seamless payments experience. VisaNet enables merchant acquiring and card issuing. Visa Direct speeds up disbursements. Visa tokenization keeps everyone's card number safe, and Visa Crypto allows users to get paid how they want. With Visa and Move, developers will be able to onboard their customers with the least information necessary. accept money from any payment source they choose, store the entire transaction balance and history for each user, and disperse money to an issued card, push to debit, or back to their bank. Move saves developers time by connecting both sides of the market actors faster than ever. They can spend their energy building features to delight their end users versus figuring out payments. Together, Move is the payments infrastructure that developers use to build the next generation of marketplace platforms. Thank you, and let's move money together.
I love that tagline. Let's move money together. Thank you, Wade. Now, let's hear from the judges. Mary Kay, any questions for Wade?
Really compelling pitch, Wade. Your target audience is developers who are building innovative, two-sided solutions. Are there segmentation within that you're focused on, either geographically or within, you mentioned political campaign, but are there other markets that you're highly targeting?
Yeah, the use case is what we're targeting. So people that need to accept, store, and disperse money. And that could be a political campaign. We have other customers that do mortgage as a service, doggy daycare as a service, really as a service type companies that really don't want to understand payments, but they want their users to stay inside of their platform. And payments is a compelling feature for that to happen.
How do you find those people building those platforms that may have passions about doggy daycares, and that's why they're building it? How do you find them and get their attention and let them know that you have a service?
So we really focus on our open source community first and foremost. We like to say we're the most popular fintech on GitHub. I also think outside of cryptocurrencies, we're the only fintech on GitHub. So the most complex and technical aspects of what we do are actually open source, down to the protocols and primitives that connect directly to the payment networks. So people normally show up there and think, maybe I can build this myself, and then they figure out other acronyms like BSA and AML and MSBs and MTLs, and oh crap, maybe I could just pay Move to do that for me.
Fantastic work. Okay, Charles, any questions for Wade?
Yeah, one question for you, Wade. With the customers you work with, it sounds like you've got a mix of customers who both bake you in from the beginning and folks who maybe swap you out live. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of like what some of the challenges are for some of the customers that already have maybe hacked their way to a payment solution in terms of moving over to Move?
Our competition is really unique in that it's normally an orchestration of existing players in the space. So they may be accepting money through a TSYS or Stripe or somebody like that, and then they're storing money at 100 of different banks with account aggregation to figure out if that money ever showed up there. And then maybe they're using a card issuing platform that they have to move money over there. And so that flow of funds is really our unique value proposition. We can accept money, store it, and disperse it in about 20 seconds. You compare that to needing to accept money at one provider, wire it over to your bank, or ACH it back to another provider. So you end up having this huge ledger, which is something I've unfortunately had to build twice in my life to keep track of all of this. And so to kind of replace all of that is a real challenge, but it's usually a large team. So not only are they getting maybe new technology, they can reposition those engineers that are building their internal ledgering system to orchestrate that flow of funds to new product features.
Thank you.
Tanya, over to you. Any questions for Wade?
Have you seen any other payment infrastructure companies or something like that using your libraries?
Yeah, so I actually started this because I was heavily involved in the Ethereum community, and I saw 100,000 global software engineers building this incredible infrastructure. And at that moment, there was no good way to bring US dollars into it. So the early adopters of the Move open source projects were all crypto exchanges. So how do I, from the Libra Association to Coinbase and others, how do I bring US dollars into my platform? So that's really where ACH became very popular with our project set. So we want to kind of mimic that, but for it's like checks. They're not going away. Neither is ACH. Neither is all of these other things. So let's get the developer community. Let's make sure this stuff runs in a modern cloud environment. Is really the premise of what we're trying to accomplish with the open source side. And then obviously we leverage that for people that want SLAs, compliance, risk, and all those type of things around it.
Thanks, Wade. Great Q&A. And of course, thanks to our judges. Please remember to vote. If you're not in the right circles, it can be hard to access some of the hottest fundraising deals around, but actually this platform has helped me get in on some pretty good rounds. So finally, let's give a big welcome to Piali Aditya of Republic, private investing platform for investors seeking high growth potential.
Hi, my name is Piali Aditya. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Republic. We allow everyone to invest in the future they believe in. 5 years ago, Title III legislation of the Jobs Act opened up startup investing to the 92% of Americans who are non-accredited investors. Republic was founded to give people the power to invest in the future they believe in by unlocking access to startups, blockchain, real estate, gaming, even their neighborhood small businesses. And we continue to introduce new verticals. With as little as $50, the future will be defined by individual investors. Legacy systems don't do a good job at funding founders from diverse backgrounds. For example, if you're a female founder of color, you're barely receiving 0.5% of venture funding. Republic levels the playing field by decreasing reliance on traditional and sometimes exclusive fundraising methods. With a focus on creating a diverse, sustainable, and connected world, we are committed to overturning the status quo. At Republic, 50% of capital raised by retail investors has gone to fund companies led by underrepresented founders. That includes women, people of color, the LGBTQ+ communities. Facilitating investments at scale and doing so globally is incredibly complex and expensive. Our investment infrastructure includes layers of technology and regulatory compliance. Now, 5 years in, with over 1 million members across 160 countries and over 400 companies raising more than $450 million of capital, this is just the beginning. The retail community, coupled with our tech stack, creates an incredibly powerful moat. Many of our companies go on to raise additional capital at higher valuations from top-tier venture capitalists, such as Maven's recent $20 million Series A, led by Andreessen Horowitz. We're honored to be acknowledged alongside the best financial institutions for our banking services. We were the first to market with many financial innovations, including compliant blockchain-based token sales and airdrops for retail investors. We accept payments, including wire, crypto, and we were the first of our peers to launch credit card processing for investments. We constantly hear feedback from our investors, like this one from Elizabeth, on how easy it is to invest in a startup with a credit card. Today, more than 60% of our credit card transactions are with a Visa card from investors in over 160 countries. Republic would love to partner with Visa to offer investors the ability to use their Visa cards to fund investments via Visa Direct, and in doing so, provide Visa with additional interchange fees. There are numerous ways we're excited to partner with Visa. I'll touch on 2 other key areas. First, imagine if together with Visa, we can create billions of angel investors and unlock wealth globally. Visa has over 20,000 employees across the globe. What better way to reach this goal than to start internally as an HR benefit? By providing a small annual incentive to employees, we will be able to increase financial literacy around investing and be on a path to wealth creation. As Republic looks to expand internationally, Visa employees globally can use their annual incentive to invest either in the US or into their own local startup ecosystems. And of course, these investments can be made with a Visa card. Second, as a supporter of early stage companies, Visa can work with Republic's growing list of startups to provide additional services through Visa Direct, the FinTech Fast Track program, and so much more. Together, Visa and Republic will create billions of angel investors. We will move society forward together. Welcome to the retail revolution. Thank you.
Amazing pitch. Thanks, Piali. Now let's get to the Q&A. Eamon, any questions for Piali?
Yeah, thank you so much. Very good presentation, Piali. Question to you is, how do you make actually your revenue, and how do you expect actually to make your money from this cycle? And as educating the consumers and everybody, what's your business model?
Yeah, so with, across all of our divisions, the way we make money on the retail side is 6% in cash of the amount raised in the campaign, and 2% of the security, and that could be crypto, it could be equity, it could be we created our own version of the SAFE agreement called the Crowd Safe.
Thank you.
Terry, any questions for Piali?
Hey, Piali, I love what you guys are doing. If you had told me that I could buy shares in a non-public company on my Visa card 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it. So this is incredible. I had a question just around, how do you help your consumers, make sound financial decisions? Private investing is a difficult, skill, when we have some great investors, here, sort of judging the panel. What are the tools that you help provide some of your customers so they can make a sound investment?
Yeah, great question. So of the companies that apply onto the Republic platform, only 3% actually make it onto the platform. So they're already highly vetted, but we do a lot of education around not just startup investing, but then a lot of education around the specific investment at hand. So if you go onto a Republic campaign page, is what we call it, you'll see a lot of information around the background of a company, the traction that it has. You'd see the types of revenue or the increase of users they've had over the last couple of months, partnership growth opportunities, the team. There's a lot that we provide, as well as knowledge about the different instruments, whether it's debt, if it's equity, or the Crowd Safe.
Great, thank you so much.
Amy, over to you. Any questions for Piali?
Thank you. Hi, Piali. Thank you for the presentation. Really compelling. I'm interested in, you said you started Republic about 5 years ago, and the last year and a half we've been in a pandemic. I'm curious what insights you have on both the type of companies that are looking for funding, as well as the type of customers that you're getting over this last year, and any hypothesis of what you think behaviors that'll change going forward.
So there has been, I think there's just been a lot of movement we've seen in society that has opened up the ability for people to recognize that they want to be and deserve to be on a level playing field. And if you think about wealth creation in general, much of the wealth that was created, the top 1%, that was in the private markets, right? And so we're not just leveling the playing field for investors, for entrepreneurs, but we're also providing them with the ability for that wealth creation. So we see a massive opportunity. There's a lot of areas that we're growing into. There's a lot of great innovation that's happening around legislation. Another big thing that allowed us to grow is that the SEC recently changed the legislation of Reg CF to allow companies to invest not just 1.70 million, but 5 million. So March 15th was the first day that legislation went live. We had a company called Gumroad. They raised that 5 million in 24 hours. So we can do more and more of those because legislation is changing. There's a lot of things that's happening in culture, community, and government, and of course technology that allows for that.
What a great presentation, Piali. Thank you so much. And thank you, judges. Now, please remember to vote. Thank you, startups, for those great pitches. Now, audience members, check out the link on your screen to vote for your favorite startup. The startup with the most votes will win $10,000 in prize money. You have 2 minutes to vote. Remember to come back to listen to Andres Weidler. While judges deliberate, we have a special guest. A warm welcome to Andres Weidler, the Executive Director at Start Out. To interview Andres, today is Visa's Jennifer Anapolsky. Over to you, Jennifer and Andres.
Thank you, Abadesi. I'm so pleased to be here today with Andres Weidler, Executive Director of Start Out, the largest national nonprofit organization supporting LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs, and also a partner of Visa Everywhere Initiative. Andres, thank you for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me.
Hey, so just to get started here, can you share a little bit about the mission at Start Out for people in the audience who may not be familiar with you?
Sure. StartOut's mission is to increase the number, the diversity, and the impact of LGBTQ entrepreneurs and amplify their stories to drive the economic empowerment of our community. So we're the largest organization, about 18,000 members, to support the growth of LGBTQ entrepreneurship.
That's great. So as I was learning more about your organization, one of the things that really impressed me was the amount of data that you've been collecting on this community of entrepreneurs and publishing. Could you share a little bit about what you're learning there and the impact that you're having?
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so the issue is nobody measures what LGBTQ entrepreneurs contribute to the economy. So that's why we went about how we went about this project. So we measure two things. We measure the actual contributions in terms of jobs, exits, fundraising, and innovation. And then excitingly, the unrealized potential of entrepreneurs. So what could they contribute if they had the same opportunities? And so that's truly an outstanding project. It's available for free for everyone on our website, and we encourage you to have a look at it.
What an incredible resource, and to put that data out there for people in all parts of the economy to learn from and find opportunity. And so thank you for doing that important work, not just to help the entrepreneurs but themselves, but to bring greater awareness and understanding of the economic opportunity for all. So as part of the work at Start Out, I know that you provide resources and help to the entrepreneurs. Could you talk a little bit about all the different ways that you help startups in this community?
Sure. It's one of my favorite questions, of course. So connections are key to success, right? We all know that. So we have both peer-to-peer support and expert advice. So for example, for aspiring entrepreneurs, we provide a safe space to find each other, find resources, and connect on many events nationwide. For growth entrepreneurs, then, we have a full-blown suite of programs like expert sessions, mentorship program, and importantly, an access to capital program where we introduce our entrepreneurs to over 300 institutional and angel investors. And then finally, we have a 6 months accelerator program, and it's been super successful. So the 35 companies who graduated so far, they raised over $300 million in funding and created hundreds of jobs already. So it's very exciting, and we encourage everyone to participate.
That's tremendous progress. Congratulations on that. Many companies like Visa are leaning into our role and the positive societal impact that we can make too. Do you have any ideas or thoughts on how we can measure our progress in that area?
Sure. First of all, thank you for being so intentional about it, right? It all starts with that. Being intentional leads to success. And your Visa Everywhere initiative, I know, reached out to a lot of different groups, including ours. So that's super exciting. Now, how to measure is always tough, right? Because it depends a little bit on what the goals are. But I think the most important part is there is no silver bullet. So this is a long-term process. Systemic, irreversible change requires long-term focus and intentionality. And I'm excited to see what you're doing, which very much matches, of course, with what our goals are. So that's be my take.
That's terrific progress that you're making, and it's great to hear the statistics associated with that. To your point earlier, what gets measured gets focused on, and so it's great to hear that kind of report. Lots of companies, including Visa, are really leaning into our potential and our role to make positive change in society. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on how we can measure our progress as we do things like Visa Everywhere Initiative and other projects to help make a positive impact.
Well, first of all, thanks for doing this, right? I mean, it starts with being an intentional, and you're with your program, with other activities that I know of, you're incredibly intentional about supporting underrepresented communities, and that's half of the game plan. So that's fantastic, and I thank you for that. We're 100% aligned on that. In terms of measuring, I mentioned the index that we're doing. Of course, there's other ways of measuring, but I think most important is to recognize there's no silver bullet here. What you're doing with the program, it's a multi-year program, giving exposure, supporting entrepreneurs long-term, that's really what matters. So I think the key is to not expect a silver bullet, but recognizing that irreversible change is a long-term goal, and having initiatives like the Visa Everywhere Initiative or our programs that focus on multi-year support, that's really the key to success.
Yeah, that's great. And Visa Everywhere Initiative gets bigger and better every year. Even despite a pandemic, I think we're continuing to grow and touch more organizations around the world every year. Going back to startup, you've grown tremendously in the last 12 years. Could you talk to us a little bit about how you see the next 12 years unfolding and what kind of challenges and opportunities lie ahead for your organization?
Can I borrow your crystal ball for a second? No, more seriously. Our vision, right, is a world where every entrepreneur can pursue their dream, no matter what sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, and so on. I think we know that this is not going to happen anytime soon. So what we are going to do over the next couple of years, for certain, is to double down on what works. We've seen over the last couple of years how our programs have impact and where they're going. So simply adding capacity to our programs, I think, is the way to go. Importantly, though, we're also reaching out to a lot of other organizations, corporates, foundations, allies, to support the cause, which eventually, of course, benefits everyone. So we believe we can continue on the path we're on, but just enhance it with a lot of partnerships, including the one we wonderful one we have with you guys.
Okay, well, that's terrific. We look forward to growing together with you, and we'll certainly look forward to having you back at some point in the future. Any final words before we go? We're just about out of time here.
Yeah, I mean, your intentional support of LGBTQ startups sends an incredibly powerful signal to all underrepresented groups. So thank you very much for including us, and I encourage every LGBTQ entrepreneur and other underrepresented entrepreneur to participate in your program.
Well, thank you for endorsing the program. We welcome all types of entrepreneurs to engage with us as part of the Visa Everywhere initiative. So thank you so much for being here, Andres. Now back to you, Avadesi, to continue with the program.
Thank you, Jennifer and Andres, for that super engaging discussion. Now, welcome back to our 5 finalists and Terry and Mary Kay, who will announce our winners today. Before we announce the overall winner, the audience also has a say in the outcome. Thanks so much to everyone out there for your votes. The audience favorite will receive $10,000 in prize money. Mary Kay, over to you to announce the audience favorite.
Thank you, Avadesi. And I'm so thrilled. It's so significant that we get to have our audience from TechCrunch and the Visa Payments Forum have a say in our contest and our pitch contest here. Thank you for doing that. Now, the startup with the most votes from our audience is Wade from Move.
Yay. That's wonderful. Well, number one, thanks for inviting Move to be a part of this. We're super excited, and it may be an unfair advantage with our community behind that voting.
How are you the audience?
Say that again?
Any more reflections on being the audience favorite, Wade?
No, I think Move is a community project at its roots. So we're thankful for everyone who participated in the voting. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, what we have all been waiting for, the overall winner announcement. This startup will receive $10,000 in prize money and will be guaranteed a spot in the global finals that will be live streamed globally on TechCrunch on September 14th. Now, Terry, over to you. Who will represent North America at the global finals?
Thank you, Abadesi. We've been running this startup competition for 7 years. And I just wanted to say how incredibly impressed we are by the quality of the finalists this year. I think it speaks to just the strength of the fintech entrepreneurship and innovation across North America. Today's finalists were selected from a pool of 600 applicants. So congratulations to each of you. I think what we found really interesting is how each of you is really creating new use cases in either money movement or financial services. Okay, so one final thank you to our judges. Really appreciate your help today. It was a very difficult decision. Unfortunately, there can be only one winner. And after careful consideration, the judges have decided that the startup that will represent North America at the global finals is Move Financial. So Wade, congratulations. Again, you are, it's a bit of a clean sweep here, and we're very excited about what you guys are doing. But a huge congrats to everybody who participated in the competition this week.
Wow, congratulations, Wade. Double whammy. How are you feeling?
Well, this is fantastic, and we couldn't do it without our community, all the people at Move that are writing code every day, and obviously without the capabilities of the partnership we hope to forge with Visa. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you, Wade. And congratulations again. That's amazing. And a big thank you to our judges and finalists again. And a very big congratulations again to our winners. And finally, thank you to you, our amazing audience, for being part of the North America Visa Everywhere Initiative 2021. Learn more about the Visa Everywhere Initiative and how to partner with Visa. Visit visa.com/Everywhere Initiative. And don't forget to tune in on September 14th to watch the Visa Everywhere Initiative Global Finals. I'm your host, Abadesi Osunsade. Have a wonderful day and stay safe.